let's go ahead and talk about this book.
Okay.
We have Thor #1. This is written by Donny Cates and the art by Nic Klein. This is Donny Cates' I think one of his favorite characters.
Yeah.
And he's probably wanted to write this Thor book for a long time. If you go back and you look at God Country, that's based on Thor for the most part.
Yep.
I mean, loosely maybe, but there's some Thor references into that book.
For sure.
So now it's a brand new year. It's 2020, and Donny Cates has the reins to Thor. Both of us read this book. What's your initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts is I actually really enjoyed this book. I have not read Thor in a long time because I really not like the direction they've taken with the character. But Thor was my very first favorite character in comics, and I really wanted to enjoy him for a while, and I haven't been able to. I picked up this book knowing Donny Cates was going to write it, and he's a fan. And I got to tell you, right out the get-go, I loved it.
Yeah, I enjoy it as well. We're going to get into some spoilers about the story, little minor stories, not the major ones, but full disclosure. The one thing I enjoyed about this book, the King Thor series, which came out right before this, I tried to read King Thor and I was lost. I could not get into it. I didn't get past the first book because I didn't know what they were referencing.
Sure.
I jumped on this one. I read this one and I wasn't lost at all.
No.
That's what I liked about it so much. I don't have the history of Thor as far as all the other backstories that have been going on. The War of the Realms storyline, that really didn't do it for me. I didn't need to know all that stuff to jump on this book, and that's why I really liked it.
Right.
I like the character. I've always been a fan of Thor. I always thought when I was younger I kind of looked like Thor. I had long blonde hair.
There you
and
go,
all that
man.
Stuff. Not the muscles, but you know, what you gotta do. But love the character, and I love the fact, like I said, it's easy to jump on.
It really is.
And so that sold me right away. I was really nervous when I went to read it, and I was flipping through the first pages, and I go, okay, I get it. I know where they're going type thing. And it flowed through the whole book. So I really didn't find myself at all saying, what are they referencing? And that's kind of a hard thing to do with a character with so much backstory.
Right.
Can you kind of reference a little bit of the story for me in here?
Sure. So, I mean, coming off of King Thor, I mean, I didn't read much of that. And so that's all I need to know. He became king, right? So he's taken his father's place as the All-Father. And so he's now king of Asgard, which we always knew he was supposed to be anyway. So that's
Took a long time.
For a long time, exactly. So that's kind of where it starts off. He's become king. Now he's dealing with the choices, the choice that he's made of becoming king, and possibly some of the consequences of that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's minor spoiler. Throughout the book, you kind of get hints that Mjolnir is become heavier.
Yes.
Right? I don't think it's not because of the fact that he's not worthy anymore. I think that because he's become king, he has to move on from Mjolnir. So I have a feeling they're going to make somebody else Thor, and while he's being king.
That's interesting, because I was curious about that, because like you said, it's people starting to know, like Loki's like, it seems like it's hard for you to carry the hammer type thing, and it's like, and he kind of says under his breath or whatnot, it's kind of getting heavier type thing.
Right.
So I mean, my initial thought was like, oh, is he not worthy anymore type thing? Is that what's coming into the question? But you're going in a different direction.
I am going a different direction. I think that he's absolutely worthy, but I think he has to move on from that station. Right?
Yeah.
I think now he's become king. That becomes maybe almost a burden. And so, I mean, but we'll find out.
Yeah.
But basically, in the midst of the story, this thing happens where Galactus shows up.
That's quite the event right there.
That's a huge event.
Yeah.
And, I mean...
Spoiler.
Yeah, there's a spoiler there. I'm not going to tell you why he shows up, but bottom line is that initially... they're thinking that he is attacking, and then it comes out that basically it's not that he's attacking, he needs help. Yeah. And I'm just going to leave it there because the big reveal at the end is so much fun.
Yeah.
I really loved the ending of the book, but you got to see that for yourself.
Yeah.
But that kind of sets up the premise of what's going on.
Yeah. So that's a great setup right there. Yeah. There's actually a couple cameos in here that are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
There's some comedy in this book.
Yeah.
Where Thor throws the hammer through the different realms type thing. You got to read it. It's pretty funny. It's fun. But I enjoyed the comedy. You can totally tell Donny Cates' writing type thing.
Absolutely.
And but I like the conflict that he is having with the hammer and with being the king. It's almost like he might not want to be the king type thing, which I understand because he likes being the Thor guy type thing. And there's a lot more responsibility when he is the king type thing.
Right.
So, how they play that out, I don't know. At the very end of this book, there is a reveal, and it kind of goes to the point to what he likes to do more.
Absolutely.
Is what kind of shows up at the end of this book type thing.
And that reveal also lets you know what the rest of the adventure going forward is going to be like.
I think Donny Cates, like I said, writing this story, writing Thor, he really wants to write it. You can really tell in some of the books that he writes. This is what he likes doing, the cosmic stuff. It doesn't get more cosmic than Thor.
No.
He's going to bring a bunch of different characters in there. They refer to a new villain coming or whatnot. Does this tie into the Null or Vox or whatever? You never know.
You never know.
But I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't show up.
We'll just say this. Scares the heck out of Galactus, and if it scares the heck out of him, it's something they got to deal with.
Galactus he's had a rough day.
That's for sure.
And this is the Either of Worlds. Is that what this thing is?
Either of Worlds.
Yeah. So he looks like he had a rough day at the gym or whatnot. I don't know what to say. But all in all, really enjoyed it. Easy read.
Very easy.
Easy to get into. Great arc. Nic Klein did a great job.
And I normally don't like that type of artwork because it's not the normal, because it's a little more painted. Loved it. It was really good.
All in all, I would say this is the Thor that I've been wanting. And thank you, Donny Cates. Thank you so much. Your last thoughts?
I'm on board for where this adventure is going. I'm the same with you. I've been wanting, to dig into Thor for the longest time, and now I feel like I got a place where I can go back into the character that I love so much. And so I can't wait for the next one.